Hi team, Anna here, makeup creator, teacher, and educator, specifically for people with hooded eyes, textured skin, oily skin, 30 plus people. We love everything makeup on this channel, and today I was just filming the thumbnail and I was trying so hard not to break any of these palettes because we're going to be doing holiday eyeshadow palettes 2024 ranking. So think everything that has come out that I purchased or received in PR since October or so, basically fall launches, winter launches, holiday launches, Thanksgiving, Christmas, you name it. There's probably going to be more to come. As I'm filming it, it's just mid of November, but I want to rank it so bad because I've been so excited about these eyeshadow palettes. I'm a huge fan of eyeshadow palettes, colorful looks, all of this good stuff, especially during this beautiful holiday season. Brands always come out with my favorite palettes during these months, and I am so excited to finally getting back into eyeshadow. I think we as a beauty community are finally moving back to doing like intricate eyeshadow looks and not just stupid boring clean girl makeup. I'm over it. But yeah, I have 9 eyeshadow palettes that I'm going to be ranking today, and let's dive right into it. I'm so excited. A lot of these palettes I do have dedicated reviews on my channel, so I will leave the links to those reviews down below if you guys are interested in watching those videos. But we're gonna start with number 9. This is going to be the Too Faced Appley in Love limited edition eyeshadow palette, which looks like this. Very Christmassy, but surprisingly this was the first one I tried out of all of these, and this came out during the fall. This palette is really gorgeous, smells like apples. Obviously Too Faced come out with a palette like this every year, I believe, since a very long time ago. So they have had chocolate scented eyeshadow palette, cinnamon scented, something else, pumpkin scented. I believe this is my first one of the kind, and the formula is decent, the shimmers are decent, the color story I love. But because other palettes are from literally my favorite brands and impeccable luxury quality, this falls on the last number. By no means do I not love it. I actually really love it, and I want to play more with it. I want to create a beautiful burgundy or like red smoky for the holidays with this palette, so I'm gonna keep it on my vanity. But yeah, this falls on number 9 just because I love the other palettes so much more. This has never happened in the history of me, my channel, my rankings, and everything, but second to last is my favorite eyeshadow brand ever, Natasha Denona Roxa eyeshadow palette. So listen, hear me out. I do love purple eyeshadows, and I am vibing with the purple color story. However, I think that first of all, I didn't understand the reasoning behind giving us a purple eyeshadow palette during the holiday season. Why? What was the thinking behind it? I didn't really get it. Second of all, this purple color story, in my opinion, is a little bit outdated. I wanted a more complicated color story. Give me some cool tones, throw in some other shades here, not just your typical warm tones, you know what I mean? Make it a little bit more interesting, not just a purple palette. But I do love it. The textures and the formulas are impeccable because it is Natasha Denona, and I need to continue play with it a little more. The looks are absolutely gorgeous if you love purple and pink tones. If you don't, then this palette is definitely not for you. It is just for those of us who do love purples and pinks and a little bit of a warmer tones. I need to play more with this. It just was less inspiring to me because I'm not so much into a simple color story these days. I'm more into the complex colors with multiple different color stories or cool tones also. And this didn't seem cool tone enough to me. There are some cool tone purple shades, but you know what I mean. Anyways, good solid palette, but it's not going to be my favorite out of everything Natasha has come out with this year, so this is number 8. By the way, if you want to purchase anything from Natasha Denona website, you can use my code Anastasia15 and get a 15% off because it's awesome. Let's move on to number 7. Okay, 7 and 6 are going to be from one collection. By the way, Too Faced and Natasha Denona and these palettes as well, I do have dedicated videos to, so actually everything but one palette I have dedicated videos, so I'm gonna link it down below. Anyways, Anastasia Beverly Hills has come out with 2 eyeshadow palettes, Spice and Sugar. This is Spice and it falls on number 7. It is a very solid warm tone brown color story with beautiful, gorgeous, stunning shimmers. I love the look I created. However, it falls on number 7 because it's just a simple 9 panner with brown eyeshadows, right? It's as high as it can go. The formula is amazing, but I love the color stories and formulas of the other eyeshadow palettes more. I will travel with this. I will use the heck out of this. I love it. And if you are into brown tones and just like really good solid eyeshadow formula with beautiful sparkles, this palette may be for you. Same with number 6. It is the Sugar palette from ABH, and it falls on number 6 a little bit higher just because I enjoy this color story a little bit more. It's more wintry fairy tale. It's more cool tone. It has more options and is more versatile in my opinion than this one. I can only come up with so many looks using this brown palette. However, here here. I can go purple, I can go pink, I can go blue, I can go neutral. Really, really adore the shimmers here as well. I think this was a very, very good launch from ABH, and I totally said that it's my favorite holiday launch back when this came out, before I knew everything else is going to be here in a little bit. But yeah, watch my dedicated video if you want to see looks I created with these palettes. So beautiful, so stunning, and I just love this format from ABH. I'm kind of enjoying this more even than their bigger, older palettes, because it's just so compact and so useful for travel, and I just love these little guys and the quality on them. So yeah, 7 and 6. Number 5, another brand that typically falls on number 1 or 2 at least, Pat McGrath Labs, and this year she came out with a ton of different palettes, but I only purchased the biggest one, Luminous Legends Mega Eyeshadow Palette. So this is one of her mega palettes that she comes out with every year. It looks a little bit different this year, but nonetheless, it has really beautiful, creamy, gorgeous mattes, but only 3 of those. That's why it doesn't fall higher. I always want more mattes from Pat, more versatile mattes also, because there's just like this orangey shade, this like pinky shade, and a deep brown. Basically, every palette by Pat McGrath that I own has that. However, the shimmers here are so special and so interesting. I love when they put different colorful shimmers in the palette, because then I can create any kind of look I want to. I have not played enough with this. I definitely need to create more looks. I want to create something warm tone here. I believe I created something with purples, blues, and this beautiful shadow, which is actually my favorite eyeshadow from Pat McGrath. Anyways, really interesting, really beautiful, complex, multi-chromey form, not really multi-chromey, some of them are, but really interesting, luxurious formula. That's what I'm trying to say. The formula that I love from Mother Pat, and this palette made me feel excited. It was way better than all of the latest launches that I've seen from Mother Pat, and I've been waiting for something like this for quite a long while, so I was really pleased, and that's why it falls on number 5. Number 4, and Nomad Cosmetics, a new kind of brand that I'm featuring on my channel from now on, because I really fell in love with their eyeshadow formula, and this is the palette Polar Express. I just posted a video on reviewing this palette and creating a look with it. What a beautiful color story. Like, are you actually kidding? Perfect holiday wintry color story, perfect for the theme as well, the movie Polar Express. I love the blues and the silvers. Those are the shades that I tried here. I've not tried the browns yet, but I did swatch them and they looked spectacular. The mattes here are like no mattes that I've ever tried before. I have never played with such high quality blue eyeshadows in my entire life. There's no patchiness, there's no anything. They are perfect, literally as good as the browns, but blues and purples are usually so much harder to formulate. I don't know how they did it, but they did an amazing job. Very reflective shimmers. We got a multi-chrome here as well, and again some reds and golds that I haven't been able to play with. Probably will pick up this palette, the Pat McGrath, and then the one that is on the first place traveling with me for the holidays, because I'm going to be spending time with my family. But absolutely love it. Nomad Cosmetics is such an amazing brand. I'm so happy I got introduced to them, and I'm so happy to have multiple of their palettes in today's rankings, because we're moving on to number 3. Yes, number 3 is also Nomad Cosmetics. I don't know if this is counted as a holiday launch, but I did include every palette that I have personally tried since the beginning of October or so. This is the Chicago Speakeasy eyeshadow palette. Am I a little bit biased because I live in Chicago and I love Chicago? Possible, but also I feel like this color story is so inspiring and so unique and so beautiful. We have cool tone purples, we have a little bit of green, we have beautiful deep reds and burgundies and browns and multi-chromes. Like, this is what I wanted Natasha Denona Roxa to be. I wanted there to be purples, but also some more dimension and more interesting eyeshadows. And because I wanted that and it didn't give me that, I was kind of a little bit disappointed in that palette. So it's on me, it's not on the brand, but we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about the Chicago Speakeasy palette. Again, I've only tried a little bit of brown mattes and the purple side of the palette, so I do want to play more with the reds and the greens and everything else. How perfect is this palette though? It's so gorgeous. Again, the mattes are buttery soft. The shimmers are so versatile and so special, multi-chromey, sparkling, dimensional. That's the word I was looking for. Oh my god, dimensional shimmers. This is what they are, and I absolutely love the formula of Nomad, and I love their color stories. So far, they're quickly becoming one of my favorite eyeshadow palette brands, especially in the era where everyone is not into eyeshadows. I really highly appreciate them coming out with this for us colorful lovers. Let's move on to number two. Number two, Huda Beauty came out with the newest big palette, Icy Nude eyeshadow palette. And this is going to be their last big eyeshadow palette for their brand. And when I saw the color story, I was like, I need it immediately. I was waiting for the Sephora event to put it in my cart and use 20% discount. But I actually received PR from them in mail, and I did post a video on this palette as well. How stunning in this palette. I was so excited when I got the PR package. I couldn't believe my eyes. I think this is such a beautiful, unique, cool toned, gorgeous, dimensional color story. The white in this eyeshadow palette is the most pigmented, beautiful white eyeshadow ever. And if you've never tried to apply matte white eyeshadow in your inner corner, try it. Once I tried it, I couldn't stop doing it. This is my favorite thing ever. I absolutely loved the mattes in here. They look spectacular. They blend out spectacular. And the deep mattes also work really, really well. The shimmers here are really, really interesting. This has such beautiful blue and purple undertones. This one is a really soft glitter kind of shade. Not glitter, but like sparkle. Really, really soft on the eye as well. Kind of like more like creamy. Haven't played with warm shades yet. Really want to. The only shade I didn't like is this one because it really feels really gritty. It feels like glitter. But other than that, everything else is absolutely spectacular. What a beautiful eyeshadow. What a beautiful campaign. And the rest of the collection was also absolutely gorgeous. I'm actually wearing the bronzer right now, and I feel like the glosses were also like out of this world. I was just fully in love with this entire collection. That's why this palette falls in number two, mostly because cool tones are my thing these days, and honestly always. I was always into cool tones, so when people in 2018 loved their orange eyeshadows and orange bronzers and orange everything, I was like, when will this stop? It finally stopped, and we're into cool tones as a community, and I'm really loving it. I'm really loving it. Let's keep this going. Super in love with this unique color story and beautiful formula. Number two. And then of course, like I mentioned, I love cool tones, and Makeup by Mario came out with their newest Ethereal Eyes Moonlight eyeshadow palette, and this is hands down my favorite eyeshadow palette I tried this year, or maybe in the past couple of years. I want you to notice that it looks completely untouched. It's because it is. The first palette that I bought for $68 US, I dropped, and a couple of eyeshadows broke, and I was so devastated because this is truly like my favorite eyeshadow palette. I want to pack with me every time I travel, and I want to use it on a daily, that I immediately ordered another one because it was still during the savings event, so I got a little discount. But I did gift the broken palette to one of my friends, and I got the new palette that I still haven't touched yet. But how beautiful is this? I think this is an absolutely perfect eyeshadow palette. Absolute perfection. The shimmers here are so beautiful. This is like the original Ethereal Eyes, which was also amazing, but cooler version of this. So if you like cool tones, definitely grab this. I think maybe this is also going to be a limited edition because the other Ethereal Eyes palette cannot be bought now at the moment. I think so. I think they don't have it anymore available, and maybe the same thing will happen to this one. And definitely grab it if you love cool tones. The mattes are so buttery soft. I love that there is beautiful black here. I haven't really played around with this navy, and I've heard that it doesn't really look that blue on the eyes. It more looks like dirty brown or something like that, but I don't really care. I am here for these cool tones. I am here for these shimmers. They're absolutely out of this world. This is like my go-to everyday palette when I don't want to think and I just want to grab something that I know is going to look like $1 million. This is this palette. There's nothing like Ethereal Eyes for Makeup by Mario. I don't have his matte eyeshadow palettes. I don't have his glitter eyeshadow palettes. That's not for me. But these, I think, are true masterpiece. Like literally, there's nothing like these palettes. And the first time I purchased Ethereal Eyes, it was so expensive, and I thought that maybe I'm not gonna like it because it's just a brown palette, but I used the heck out of that one. So the moment I saw a cool tone version of that, I knew I would buy it, and that's why it falls on number one, because I will simply reach for this over any other palette every single day. I will use it all the time. It is my favorite palette in my collection as of now, for sure, and I just don't think it gets better than this. It's so luxurious, so beautiful, so dimensional, so wearable, but you could also do something smoky or dramatic with this. That's why I love this, and that's why I love Mario and the genius behind him and the brand. Yeah, number one. All right, team, this feels like it was a really short video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really definitely enjoyed the rankings and all of these eyeshadow palettes. I think that this holiday season was really fun in terms of eyeshadow palettes. I'm really enjoying the color stories that the brands are coming out with. I feel like eyeshadows are back. Hopefully 2025 is going to bring even more fun, colorful color stories in terms of eyeshadow. I'm going to play around with more of that. But yeah, I'm going to link everything, all of the palettes down below and all of my reviews for all of these palettes. I am so in love with these. Let me know in the comments if you picked any of these up. What do you think about all of those palettes and which one is your personal favorite? I love you all. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye.